Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're taking a look at the cities of Sigmar, and in particular the Hammerhal Ghyra sub-faction. Now in this video we're going to talk a little bit about the special rule and unique changes that the Hammerhal Ghyra's free city will have, before looking at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for this particular sub-faction. After that, we'll then take a look at some other units we can use to expand upon those first couple of initial purchases, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own Cities of Sigmar force for Hammerhal Ghyra. Now, to begin with, first of all, we have the Bounty of the Verdant City. When you pick a Hammerhal Ghyra army, if the battle pack you are using has restrictions on the number of reinforced units you can include one additional Cities of Sigmar reinforced unit in your army. This is pretty cool. This allows you to take larger units within your force. In addition though, friendly Hammerhal Ghyra human units have a bravery characteristic of 10 whilst they have 10 or more models. So, two things here. First of all, we're going to be able to include more larger units thanks to this rule, but we're also going to get a benefit when we do so as well, and especially if the battle pack doesn't include things like reinforcement points, doesn't allow us to have, as many reinforcement points. We're playing smaller games, for instance, say, 1,000 points, you generally only get 2, so we've got 3 rather than, the 5 we might have at some other points values and stuff like that. But it is pretty cool, we're definitely going to want a human focus for this because that's where we're going to get that Bravery 10 characteristic benefit. So with that said, let's go look at some units to start with. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to start? For me, I think Pontifex Sinestra, the Matriarch of the Great Wheel, is a fantastic place to start for a Hammerhal Ghyra force. First of all, when she's included in your army, we're going to get access to Flagellants, which are a unit that becomes battle-line so long as she's within your force, but she also does give us some nice and different powers. She's a priest, which is really nice, though she is a priest that's a human and is a unique character, so can't take any additional prayers because you can't take the generic ones because she's a named character, and she obviously doesn't have access to the Cities of Sigmar ones because they are human only. Now, this doesn't mean though she is going to get no prayers, as she does have the Vessel of Sigmar prayer, which allows her to pick a couple of abilities to apply to some units near her. Now, you can either have friendly Cities of Sigmar human units have a ward while they hold within 18 inch of her, add 2 inch to the movement of Cities of Sigmar human units on the battlefield, or you can roll a dice for each enemy wizard or priest, and on a 2+, that unit will suffer D3 mortal wounds. It's actually really cool. A couple of really fun abilities can be taken out of the 3. And then she's also got Wrath of Vizier as well, where at the start of the combat phase, enemy units nearby her will take some mortal wounds on top of it. She has a 4+ ward save, and she can attempt to dispel endless spells at the start of your hero phase, and attempt to unbind one spell at the enemy hero phase in the same manner as a wizard, and add 1 to those rolls as well. Now, she does have a mount, she's 9 wounds, 5+ a base save, so all that, but she also has a few combat attacks coming out of her. Nothing too fantastic though, a lot of no rend damage 1 attacks. Joining her though, we have Flagellants. These are a really interesting unit. 1 wound each, 6+ save. Nothing too great there. They have a 2 inch range with 2 attacks each, 4s and 4s, no rend damage 1. Their big rule though is Glorious Martyrs. Each time a model in unit is slain by an attack made with a melee weapon, you can pick an enemy unit within 3 inch or this unit and roll a dice. And so on a 5+, that unit will suffer a mortal wound. So pretty cool stuff to be able to deal some mortal wounds back on death. The fact that this is melee means, things like Hammerhal Ghyra's ability to have higher bravery so you're not running from battleship tests is really important as well. Now, looking at where to go next after this though, definitely looking at some other cities units, some other human units to bring into the force is really important. A secondary character is probably needed, and I think the Freeguild Marshal with Relic Envoy is a really great shout for this. What this model is going to be able to do for you is give you a secondary leader that has some abilities to deliver a rousing speech, which is a special command that it can do once per game as a heroic action. You pick up to 3 friendly Cities of Sigmar units whole within 18 inch and roll 2d6. If the score is less than that unit's bravery characteristic until the end of the turn, model as a unit counters 2 for the purpose of capturing objectives, which is really nice. This can help set up your objective capture game really well. And you've also got the Attendant Relic Envoy as well. We can use him. And what this does is, if you choose to use the Relic Envoy to deliver a message, you can pick another friendly as a City Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inch, and until your next phase, anytime that unit receives a command, it does so for free, which is really, really cool. Now, we then have some other units to think about. Bringing in some range to go along with our Flagellants is nice. Frigil Fusiliers and the Iron World Great Cannon are both excellent choices for this. Fusiliers will provide you with bodies which will be able to benefit from a lot of the different rules, 10 models strong, so bravery 10 and stuff like that on them, but they're also going to provide you with a decent amount of shots, and even more shots if they use their cast light formation rules, which are rules where effectively if they stay still they can sort of set up shop and become a much harder shift to block. This is great as they combine nicely with the fact that Flagellants are going to be much more offensive and not quite as defensively good, so they can hold, backfield objectives and stuff. And the Iron World Great Cannon can do much the same, though it does have, some longer range of shooting power, and definitely has some fun time taking out things like monsters with high damage, high rend abilities on its weaponry. Frigid Steel Helms are of course another option. They don't have the shooting power that the other two options mentioned before do, but they do provide you with a decent solid unit that can hold the line really well and play a more defensive role than your Flagellants will be playing. And so here we have our sample army list. Now we've gone for the grand strategy of hold the high ground. This means we're wanting to control the center of the table at the end of the game and not have enemy units near it. And we're 10 points under, so a Triumph for Inspired +1 wound can be really nice. Pontifex Sinestra, of course, is in our force, and then we have a Frigid Marshal with Relic Envoy, who will be our general, and taking the command trait Divine Champion, which turns the model into a priest. The prayer we've selected to go with for this model as well is going to be Curse, as this is going to enable us with the decent amount of attacks we're going to get out of those Flagellants to be able to have some mortal wound damage dealing potential. For an artifact on the model, we've gone the Brazier of Holy Flame, and what this does is roll a dice each time a model in your units would flee while they're wholly within 12 inch of the bearer, and on a 4+, they don't flee instead. This is great. Once again, we don't want models fleeing, we want them, if they have to, from the Flagellant units to die in combat to be able to deal the mortal wounds. Battle line wise, we are making full use of that extra reinforcement point for 3 units of 20 Flagellants, taking 60 models in our battle line, and then we've also got another 10 Frigid Fusiliers which can provide us with some shooting support. Everything in the force is wrapped up in a battle regiment, so it's a 1-drop force, and we've got 84 wounds on the table, which is pretty decent for a 1,000-point army. So if you've got some thoughts on how you'd like to start your Cities of Sigmar force, especially with a more horde-style force for Hammerhal Ghyra, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community we have here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, be that via Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, whether that's stickers, t-shirt, mugs, or anything from our Teespring store as well, or by using our affiliate links, which are also linked down in the description as well, that go a long way to helping support the channel. As a special thank you to all our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Iron Grinch, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Alderin Shot First, Kendall, Soren, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny 84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel 196. Thank you all so much for helping support the channel. It means the absolute world to us. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.